Hi guys, so it's early morning here. It's a beautiful day outside and I'm sitting in the same room I was last time. I'm just sitting kind of at a different angle here, but hopefully the lighting's okay. I know it's not great, but like, I don't know. I really enjoy this natural lighting, especially when it's so nice outside. I'm sitting like right beside my window and I'm enjoying it. Today, I'm very excited because we're trying this NARS Pure Radiant Tinted Moisturizer. I got it in Light 1, also called Finland, and I'm just super excited to try it. I'm going to work in a little bit, and so I was like, you know what? Try it, wear it to work. Okay, so first, before doing that though, I did want to do my eyes. I'm just going to do a gold look using this Berries and Cream palette from Dominique Cosmetics. This is the only Dominique Cosmetics eyeshadow palette that I have, but I love it. I do have, I do use the Urban Decay eyeshadow primer sometimes, and then other times I just use my concealer because I'm lazy. Today we're gonna use our concealer. Actually, before we do the eyes though, I did get a little sample with my NARS Tinted Moisturizer. I got three samples of, I got samples of all three of their primers, just little packets. So let's put that on first actually and give it some time to soak in. I kind of like the smell of this. Does it smell? I feel like it almost smells like lemony. So I didn't tell you which primer that I chose to use today. I chose the Pore and Shine Control, just because my skin's already like super dewy and it's really hot outside today. Not that I'm gonna be spending much time outside, but I don't know. I just thought this would be like good for when I go to work. Okay. So now I have my e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer. I have Fair Rose. So, gonna be honest with you. Still find I have to blend this stuff out right away or else it stays kind of in one spot and gets a little blotchy. Blend up a little bit higher. I do have some discoloration a little bit higher up on my lids, especially because I'm a pale gal and you can see my veins pretty clearly up there. Okay, that looks good to me. So now before we go in with shadow, I'm just gonna set the concealer a little bit. I'm just using my Hourglass palette. It's the Ambient Lighting Edit in the color Ghost. I'm just gonna grab this light setting powder here. It's got a slight sheen to it. We're just gonna pack that all over just to set. I find, honestly, I know people say like, don't set your eyeshadow primers, but I definitely feel like I have to set my concealer if I use it as a base. But if I use primer, I also find I have to set it. So like I said, we're gonna go into the Berries and Cream eyeshadow palette by Dominique Cosmetics. Just a stunning palette, right? It's beautiful. Okay, so we're gonna go into the color Toasted. It's just right here. It's kind of hard to see in this lighting, but it's kind of a gray, purpley, browny kind of color. I'm just gonna put that right in the crease. And then same thing on the other eye. I always like take a second dunk into the shadow and make sure I'm getting it on the inner part of my eye because I do like when I have some depth added just on top of my crease on the inner eye portion as well. Okay, so I put that in my crease and then I'm just gonna dot a little bit of that in the outer corner and bring it down here. You can kind of use a bit of a patting motion to get a little bit more depth. Same thing on the other side. Looking pretty even. Good stuff. Okay, so I'm gonna add a touch of chocolate molasses. It's just this beautiful, beautiful chocolate brown color just right there. Beautiful. It's just like a true chocolate brown. And we're just patting it in the outer corner. I don't know if this is just me, but when I work with like dark shadows, I find if I get too much in like a blendy, kind of going in circles kind of motion, that it can get kind of patchy. It's not the shadow's fault. I honestly find I get that with like all shadows, and I love these shadows. I'm just lightly dusting like the little bit remaining on the brush over the crease. We'll do the same thing on the other side. Don't think I need to say that. Obviously, going to work, you can probably assume I'm doing the same look on both my eyes. And then I'm just gonna take that toasted shade that I was using in my crease in the very beginning and just run that right along the edges, just to really make sure it's all blended out, take away any harsh lines, and yeah, bring those two colors together nicely. Okay, so we looking crazy, right? We looking pretty crazy. Okay, so now we're just gonna grab this color. It's called Honey Dipped. This palette is massive, so it's like awkward for me to hold. Honey Dipped right here. Just a really pretty gold. I'm picky with golds, and like with my eye color, I'm kind of picky. So we're just gonna pat that on the lids. My eyes are blue, but they have like kind of a teal, almost like grayness to them. I love my eye color. It's one of my favorite features for sure. But for some reason I find like a yellowy gold, I'm just like, absolutely not. This type of gold where it's more of like a true gold, there's not like a yellowness to it. I really enjoy that. I got a little bit of the darker eyeshadow color up a little bit higher on this eye. So what I can do is I can dip into the hourglass, and I'm gonna get that white setting powder again. And I'm just gonna run it over the top of the eye there. I'll do this to the other eye as well. I just find that it softens up the edges there. I've been doing my concealer under my tinted moisturizers lately because I find it just like a little too light for what I'm going for. I can almost tone it down a little bit by having the tinted moisturizer come up and over it a little bit. Obviously I don't want to go too much because then that can turn into like creasy mess. Just blending this out with a sponge once again. I said this last time, I used the same sponge. I'm not sure where this is from. I got it from a friend. Now sometimes this happens too, where I blend my concealer up into the inner corner and it covers a bit of the shadow, so I just go like this. A little bit just to blend that out. Okay, we're just gonna do the dabs in the outer corner. I know this takes longer when I do each like one little spot at a time, but I'm telling you, if I don't move fast with this stuff for some reason, it's a blotchy mess. I don't know what it is. And I can let it sit on other parts of my face longer, but under my eye, I cannot let it sit like literally for even 10 seconds. It's just a mess. Okay, so let's add a little bit of concealer. Some little problem areas we got here. I still do like it though. It's pretty. I love the hydrating component of it. I guess while I'm doing this too, maybe we can talk a little bit about, well, I'll talk about it. You can respond in the comments. That would be great. I have some fine lines and wrinkles under my eyes and on my forehead. My forehead ones are frustrating. They're pretty bad. You can't see them right now because the lighting's not great, but I do have them and my makeup settles into it. And even if I set it, my makeup settles into it. It frustrates me and I'm insecure about it. I'm 22 years old and I'm trying to just learn to live with it. You know, like I don't have money to get filler. Most people don't have money to get filler. You don't need filler. And I'm just trying to learn to be okay with it. And I'm getting there slowly. I'm getting there. So I just put some of this tinted moisturizer on the back of my hand and we're just gonna start by putting it around the face a little bit. Looks like it might be a little yellow for my skin tone. Also looks like I might have put too much on. We'll see as we blend out here. So in Canada, I believe this stuff cost, with the sale they got going on right now, is $48. 48, 46, 46. $46. It's normally $58, which is quite the price tag. Okay, so this is blending out like really quite beautifully. We need a little bit more. Didn't put enough in the forehead. That was honestly enough to like go all over my face, but I went a little heavy on the lower part of my face. That's okay. I'm like neutral with slightly yellower tones. I thought it was pink for the longest time, and then I was like, girl, you're not pink. You are not pink. It's just that I do have like really naturally rosy cheeks, and that was making me think I was pink, and I'm not pink, okay? We're not pink. Okay. Probably gonna be buying a second thing of that. I am not gonna lie. Wow, that is stunning. Now, because I am wearing a mask for most of the day, we're just gonna take the 2 setting powders from this Hourglass palette, same thing I did last time, I just mixed them together. And we just dab this along the part where I'm wearing my mask. And then I'm just gonna add a little bit. Like I said, I have some fine lines on my forehead, so we like to just very lightly tap over them so as to not, you know, get anything looking cakey or anything like that. But we just want to give it a little set. Okay, and then I just noticed the eyeshadow on this eye got a little like too crisp looking from putting on the Tinted Moisturizer and the concealer. So just take the brush, just blend that out a little bit more. And then tap on bottom there. Okay, there we go. The skin looks stunning. Look at this. Like, excuse me? Okay, so now what we're gonna do, we're just gonna take same big fluffy brush. I didn't say what this was. It's a fluffy eye blender from e.l.f. You know what? I don't like going heavy on the under eye. My eyes are slightly downturned and I find that drags my eye down. We're gonna take this bronzer from this Hourglass palette in Eternal Bronze Light. I'm just gonna tap into this because it's like, still got the pigment, but it's a little, takes a little bit more time to build it up, and I don't want anything crazy. These Dominique Cosmetic eyeshadows are like really pigmented. Not in a way that makes them hard to work with by any means, but just a little bit more than like I would like on the under eye right now. So just dusting that along the entire under eye. A little too warm for what I'm going for. Just gonna make sure the sides are balanced. I'm just taking a beauty blender and kind of like patting it out gently just to tone it down a little bit. Okay, so got that as kind of, I guess, the almost transition shade on the lower lash line. And then we're just gonna use this brush. Talked about it last time. I used it in the Naked, or I got it in the Naked Heat palette. And then we're just gonna tap into Toasted. So that was this kind of like grayish color right there. I'm gonna gently add a little bit of that, focusing it on the outer corner. And gently bringing a little bit of it in. My mouth apparently is like always got to be open, you know, to like really get things blended apparently. I like that. That kind of tied it in a little bit more. Now for the inner corner. So these shadows, they do pull a little bit like, they can pull a little bit pink, which I personally really like. I honestly don't like going for a super bright inner corner. So I'm just gonna tap into the highlighter in this Hourglass palette. And we're tapping with the other end of the Naked Heat brush, and we're just gonna pat that into the inner corner because it's like a super beautiful pink subtle highlighter, and I can roll with that for the inner corner. It's not like my favorite look to have just like a white inner corner, but I do like it to be lighter than the rest of my eye for sure, but not white. So I'm just gonna add that. drink coffee out of a straw because I drink a lot of coffee and it makes my teeth yellow. We don't want that, so we drink with a straw. Okay, let's do a little bit of bronzer. Honestly, for a supernatural bronzer look, which is what I want today, I use my Aquassurance compact foundation. It's powder foundation. It's beautiful. I love it. Even if you have fine lines, this smooths over it beautifully. But it's not my shade. Okay, I can wear this in the summer, like if I spent a lot of time outside in the summer. No, it's not right. I got it in the color Natural, I believe. Yeah, no. Okay, so we use this as a bronzer. I just like ever so lightly bring it in up here, and you're probably wondering why I do bronzer if I'm going to work and I'm putting a mask on. But I do. I just do it. I don't know. Makeup is therapeutic. It is relaxing. It helps to make me feel a little bit normal. So, yeah, I still do my bronzer and things like that, even if we're just wearing masks. But then, of course, up here, like, people will see this part of my face, so I feel a little less useless bronzing up this part. And we're just using an e.l.f. brush. It's the e.l.f. highlighting brush. And it kind of like depends what bronzer I'm using as to what brush I use. And I often just blend out the edges with my beauty sponge. And that same highlighter I just used in my inner corner, just right here. It's in the shade Strobe Powder Iridescent Strobe Light. Just gonna tap the sponge in there and just tap it on the highest parts of the cheek. I bring it kind of in almost a V shape. I like going along here and then like V'ing it in here a little bit, putting it on the cheeks a little bit there. And we'll just take the same e.l.f. brush, tap it into the highlighter, just put that right on the high part of, or the brow bone. It is early in the morning. Now on to brows. Same thing as I did last time, so I won't put this on camera. I'll just quickly go through this. Okay, so we got the brows done. I just have I put a little bit too much of the bronzer in this area, and it just sent that crease a little bit, so we're just patting that out. Oh, that looks so much better. Okay, so we're done the brows. I'm gonna use the same brush because I'm lazy. And we're gonna tap into this darker blush. Strobe Blush Iridescent Rose. So it's darker and it's definitely more glittery than the lighter pink one. But I think it kind of goes with that kind of gold look. I kind of like that. When I do darker eye looks, I definitely like tend to dip into this one a little bit more. I am pale, so I very gently tap it on. I do like putting my blush over my highlighter too. That's something I've really gotten into recently. I just find that it makes the highlighter look a little bit more natural, and that's the look I've been going for a little bit more these days. I do often bring a little bit of the blush like almost right under my eyes. I know it's weird. I just find like the more colors there, the less any creasing under my eyes is really emphasized. Not to the point where it's like it's looking pink, but I literally just tap the lightest amount just to tone down the bright color of the concealer, which helps to, I find, just minimize the look of creasing. And then we just use the sponge and tap on over that to really mesh it with that bronzer, the highlighter, and the Tinted Moisturizer. We're gonna use this mascara, the L'Oreal Paris Air Volume Mega Mascara. Been using the Lash Princess one from Essence recently, and I've really gone back into Essence mascaras. They're really great, super affordable, which is always awesome. I don't usually do my bottom lashes, but we're just gonna add a little bit today. Okay, so this is kind of a quick question for you guys. should definitely tell me, just out of curiosity, how many of you do your mascara with, like, you do your right eye with your right hand and you do your left eye with your left hand? How many of you do that? Because that's what I do. I'm pretty sure my sister does that as well. But is that just something that like everybody does? I don't know why, like before I knew that my sister did it, I was like, yeah, I can actually do my mascara with both hands, and I was so proud. And then my sister's like, oh, I do that too. And then I was like, oh, is this just like normal? Like, does everybody just switch hands? Tell me, do you switch hands? Do you use the same hand? Or are you like right-handed but you do mascara with your left hand or something like that? That would be interesting. Okay guys, here's my hairdo today. We got our long straightened hair. My hair is very long, like, and I do not have extensions. Let's take a close-up look again. If I didn't powder this, I think I'd like it even more, but I powdered it with Hourglass powder that I really like anyways. It literally just looks so good. Thank you so much for watching my second video ever. I hope you enjoyed. It was kind of, I guess, my first reaction here to the Pure Radiant Tinted Moisturizer from NARS. I love it so far. The color might be a little off. I should maybe go for a neutral one. And yeah, I love it. They added a bunch of new shades, so it's kind of like been not like re-released, but kind of if you want to give it a try and you like very natural skin kind of looks, then I highly recommend that you give it a try. It looks so good. Yeah, thanks for watching my video, and hopefully you'll come back soon.